So welcome to the CS3 conference. Before starting, actually, I will deliver this on behalf of the organizing and program committee, but I think the local people deserve a special thank you. Ron, in particular, and all his team, to make this, all the organization burden and all the things that were really on him. So I really would like to thank you very, very much, Ron. So welcome to, as this has been said, this is the third event. So we started a couple of years ago, and we had a workshop at CERN. It was November 2014. After more or less a year, we moved to Zurich, ETH, and now we are here. So I will really try to follow the three events, just to give a little bit of the background, why we are doing this and why we are doing this in this way, and also to try to guess possible future directions. So when we started in 2014, many of us, I mean, we discovered that there was a kind of community. I mean, we didn't know each other, but there was a community already of people which were delivering services or planning to delivering services in the area of synchronization, very often pushed by user interest, and with a certain some initial experience in different places. So we didn't know each other. We discovered that, okay, there were some boxes popping out in Europe, drives, like Surf Drive here. And this seems to be extremely interesting. On the other hand, we felt that maybe we had also to go a little bit to the, to the drawing board and really to understand what we were doing. And this was the reason also to have a certain interaction and interest in computer science, really to understand what we were doing. So, and the blackboard, which is in the thing, then remained in the publicity, in the poster of the conference. After after 14 months, we had the second event. This was in ETH in Zurich. And for me, it was really amazing to see how much the things evolved in, let's say, in a year or something like this. So from the synchronization part, I mean, synchronization was something which was at that point understood. And people were really seeing the importance of sharing data. Clearly the system, let's say, the understanding, the services we were doing moved already in the engineering area. So we were not longer trying out my first box, but we were really planning for, or having at that point, large installations, which required really an understanding to a different level. We were not talking about interest of delivering services. We had really a service offer, and we have really a user base which was growing and is still growing very, very fast, steadily. It was also very amazing to see how the analysis of what is going on in a given place was matching what is going on. I mean, we could see, for example, people coming at work, working, having a break at lunch, et cetera, et cetera. We really had a control of our user community. And this word community, which goes very well with sharing, because there is a sharing as we sharing files, but we understood that we were also sharing much more. We were sharing experience across these different actors in the game. So now we are here, and of course I don't know what will be the result of the workshop. On the other hand, I collected some keywords, which I think are probably will be, some of them, I hope, will be touched, will be developed, and will be at the center of the discussion. After the synchronization, after the sharing, what I see more and more at the center are the applications. So we have a community, we have the possibility to share data. Now this data should be used for something, and a large fraction of our community comes from universities, research institutes. So data means not only data I have to share with colleagues, but is really data for science. So there is really one level up we should try to tap. This requires innovation, but if this can be achieved, this will also give a strategic advantage to people which will be capable to deal with data and application in a seamless way. So there is really a class of things our users will be capable to do, which is really attractive, and is attractive for us because it's interesting, but it is even more attractive for them because they will have the possibility to do things in a better way, particularly better science. Science is a starting point, or if you want, is something which is more complicated than only, if I may say so, just fundamental research. It has to do a lot with interconnecting different people, different sites. It also goes in the area of education and outreach. And again, collaboration, I think, will continue to be here as a keyword. One new thing we have observed is that there are people here which are primarily interested to storage. This is quite interesting because this is something new, and I think is really a very good sign. It's a good sign that if, we are not just a fringe usage of storage technologies, but maybe this will become an important area for storage technology at large. So a bit of numbers. So shouldn't say, but I'm particularly proud of these numbers. I mean, at a certain point, registration had to be essentially stopped. We reached that actually we crossed the under 20 people mark. People are from Europe, of course, but also from several continents, which for some reasons all starting with A. We have seen more than 50, around 50 contributions, which is also reflecting the fact that the program moved from a 2-day workshop to a 3-day workshop. It's very, very interesting to see. We always had industrial participation, but this time we have more than 15 companies which have accepted to come and accept to come as one of the actors. Okay, just being they are mixed here and they are sitting with us, and. This feature of being side by side with the users and side by side with the service provider, I think, is a hallmark of the conference, and I think is a good thing. This is the way I see it. I wanted to do a nice map with companies from different places, etc. But on one side, some of the companies are global companies, and then we have so many, and we have so many institutes, and this is a partial. I'm pretty sure I forgot somebody, but it's impressive to see. People and companies and activities and projects from so different places altogether. So to summarize, where we started from this, what is now we call non-traditional working storage systems, starting with synchronization, sharing. Of course, there were already hints, and we will have more here about federating these kind of installations and have roaming properties for people moving around. There is all this data science, data-intensive science area and education, which really should, at least ideally, span the entire life cycle. So from the prototyping to the publication. And last but not least, as I mentioned before, there is a storage technology. I think it's important to have a convergence between the data part, the usage of the data, and also the technology which are behind. So before closing this short presentation, I have a couple of messages. One is here, although there is a little typo. So we are also thinking to next year. So feel free to contact me and the other members of the program committee if you are interested in general, to help out and even to host this conference in EVE for now. Another thing I didn't put there is about publications. So outside, once you register, probably you got a copy of the Book of Abstract, which really is just the collection of the abstract, but it's really very nice because you can have and also share with your colleagues once home, the diversity and the amount of ideas, etc., which will be discussed here. But as last time, etc., we are really thinking to have some publication out of it. Again, come to us and to discuss it. I think it's extremely important that at least part of the presentation could be distilled out and become something which stays as a paper, because I think that our community has also to produce this kind of outputs. So I'm closing, thanking you, and these are part of the participants. Again, the list was evolving till to the last minute. So thank you very much, and I hope the workshop will be very successful as the other two. And thank you, Ron, again.
Okay, welcome. Thanks, Massimo. We have time for 1 or 2 quick questions. It's okay, everything was very clear. Thank you very much for this
Welcome.
nice introduction of this workshop.
Thank you.